My girlfriend asked who keeps calling at 3 a.m. Nobody's been calling at 3 a.m., but she's been answering something. I've been with Yara for 2 years, and she's always been the heaviest sleeper I know. The kind of person who could sleep through a fire alarm blaring and still complain about being tired the next morning. So when I started waking up to find a completely empty bed at exactly 3 a.m., I noticed immediately. Something felt wrong from the first night. The first time it happened, I found her sitting on the living room couch in complete darkness, not a single light on. She was holding her phone pressed to her ear, whispering so quietly I could barely hear anything. When I asked who called, she said her mom had an emergency with her grandmother back home. Her mom lives overseas, so late night calls weren't unusual for us. I kissed her forehead and went back to bed without questioning it. The second time, I found her in the bathroom with the door locked from inside. I could hear her voice through the door, but couldn't make out any actual words, no matter how hard I pressed my ear against it. When she finally came out after almost 20 minutes, she said it was her sister calling about family drama. I believed her because why wouldn't I believe the woman I loved? The third time, I decided I needed answers. I checked her phone while she was taking a shower the next morning. I felt guilty, but something wasn't adding up. There were no calls at 3 a.m. No calls from her mom in 3 weeks. No calls from her sister in over a month. My stomach dropped through the floor, but I didn't say anything. I couldn't figure out how to bring it up, so I started pretending to sleep and watching instead. Every single night around 2:45 a.m. without fail, Yara would slip silently out of bed like clockwork. She'd grab her phone from the nightstand and disappear somewhere in the apartment. I could hear her whispering through the walls, but the words never made any sense. Sometimes she'd laugh softly like someone told a joke. Sometimes she'd cry so hard her breath would catch in her throat. One night, I finally followed her. She went to the spare bedroom we used for storage and sat in the far corner facing the wall with her knees pulled up. Her phone was pressed firmly to her ear, but the screen was completely black. No call notification, no active app, absolutely nothing. She was talking to a dead phone. I stood frozen in the doorway watching my girlfriend have an animated conversation with nobody at all. She was nodding and responding to questions only she could hear. At one point she said, I know, I'm trying my best, and her voice cracked like she was about to break. Then she whispered, I'll do it soon, I promise you. I stepped back, and the floor creaked loudly. She spun around instantly, and her eyes were completely glazed over like nobody was home. She looked directly at me, but through me, like I wasn't even there. Then she blinked twice, and genuine confusion replaced the emptiness. Why are you awake? She asked, like absolutely nothing strange had happened. I told her I heard noises. She said she couldn't sleep, and was just sitting here thinking. The phone had somehow disappeared back into her pocket without me seeing her move. The next day, I called her sister using a number from Yara's contacts. She sounded surprised, and said she hadn't spoken to Yara in 4 months. I called her mom, who said the exact same thing. That night, I hid my laptop in the spare room closet to record everything. At 3 a.m., Yara got up like always. I watched the recording next morning, and my blood went completely cold. Yara walked in and sat in the corner exactly like before. She pulled out her phone and held it to her ear. But in the reflection of the window behind her, I could clearly see her phone screen. It was on. There was a face staring back. A video call with a man I had never seen before in my life. He was older with gray hair and a jagged scar running across his left cheek. He was talking, and she was responding to every single word. This wasn't sleepwalking. She was having secret video calls with a complete stranger and erasing every trace. I confronted her that evening with the recording. She went completely pale and started shaking violently. She begged me not to be angry with her. The truth finally came out. The man was her biological father, a man who went to prison when she was 6 for violent crimes against her mother. He got released 8 months ago and tracked her down through social media. He'd been manipulating her into secret midnight calls and threatening to hurt me if she ever told anyone. She erased the history every night because he made her swear to keep it secret. She was terrified and ashamed and didn't know how to ask for help. I held her while she sobbed. We called the police that night. He violated parole by contacting her. He's back in prison, and Yara started therapy. She sleeps through the night again, but sometimes I still wake up at 3 a.m. to make sure the bed isn't empty.